Netflix's Devil May Cry is not what I expected it would be, in more ways than one. And the best way I can put it is, if you are a die-hard fan of the franchise, you won't be happy with what the show did to the lore or the world of Devil May Cry. I saw the trailers and I was extremely hyped for its release. Then I watched the first episode and had the biggest smile on my face. They got the character of Dante almost perfectly, I thought. And the animation, the quality, and the action was spectacular. But as I kept watching the show, I realized that the reason most people praise the show is because the reasons I just gave you. The animation, the action, the hype basically. The substance just wasn't there, not fully. I'm sat here writing this review with an uncertain mind. Should I give this review in the perspective of a die-hard Devil May Cry fan? Or should I give you the review in the eyes of a newcomer? And I have decided to do a bit of both. So let's get the intro out of the way and get started, shall we? Devil May Cry is a huge gaming series, featuring many games, the latest installment being Devil May Cry 5, which acted as a conclusion to the previous plot points. So going into the show, I expected it to be an adaptation of the lore in the games, to set the scenes for a possible larger TV show series. It was not. Well, to be specific, the lore has been changed in ways that are quite drastic, very easy to see. I am going to split this video into sections that will each cover the lore changes. The chapters will be on screen for you right now. Okay, good. Let's start with the first chapter. The entire lore of the world is different. For starters, the demon realm is now called Makai, and the demons are called Makaians, something like that. They are not monsters, but instead, they are just people trying to survive the toxic wasteland over there, and trying to raise their families. Oh yeah, demons have those now, by the way. No idea why they decided to humanize the monsters, but that's that. Oh, and it's also said that demons are basically just humans that evolve differently. Nice lore change for you there. The separation of the realms is also changed, making it Sparda that did the separation, except it shouldn't be. The original lore says it was a powerful demon in the long-lost past that ended up getting defeated. All Sparda actually did was basically close the main door connecting the two realms, and closing the second biggest door into the demon realm as well at Fortuna, where he ended up living for a while, worshipped as a god and savior. They did get some details right here though. Sparda did rebel against Mundus and fought back the enemies of the demon realm, but the way he closed the gate was also changed in the show. The show says that Sparda used his sword and the jewel within it to separate the realms, the jewel acting like some sort of beacon and key that when combined with the sword will align the two realms, and with the blood of Sparda will fuse the realms back together. This is nothing like the actual truth. The actual lore says that Sparda did indeed use his sword, which is also called Sparda, by fusing it with all his demonic powers along with his own blood. But he did not do it alone. A human priestess was also needed in the blood ritual to seal the Temenegru, the gateway, shut for good. An amulet was then crafted in order to act as the key to this gate. Sparda would then live a long time, and eventually meeting a beautiful woman called Eva, and then got married to her. They had two children, twins, Dante and Vergil, and unlike what the show would have you believe, Sparda wasn't that much of a deadbeat, and Dante was not oblivious to his true nature or who his father was. Sparda did stay behind for most of their childhood, and trained them both personally in swordsmanship. Sparda would also forge two swords, the Rebellion and the Yamato. He gave Rebellion to Dante, this sword on his back, and this sword to Vergil. So by the time Sparda disappeared, they were capable of taking care of themselves to an extent. But they continued living with their mother, who at some point split the amulet into two pieces and gave one half to Dante and the other half to Vergil. But neither of them actually knew what the amulet does, so that part was correct. Let's move on to the next chapter. The characters in this show were overall very interesting. They did some incredible work on building them up, but of course they were taking liberties in adapting these characters. Let's start with Dante. Design-wise, they got him spot on. He looks like Dante and sounds like Dante. Actually, he sounds like Nero, the voice actor voiced Nero. not Dante. In the games anyway. But the issue comes in his intelligence and behavior. They made Dante kind of stupid at times, which is strange since Dante is not in any way an idiot. He is an overconfident and careless moron, but he's not stupid. But this show has moments where it feels like Dante lost some brain cells to the ether, which isn't much of a problem, but then you start seeing the issues in character, like Dante not knowing who his father was, which, like I said, he always knew. He and Vergil both knew, and they both knew they were half demon, but this show ignored both of those details. So you have a Dante who knows the things he can do aren't normal, but never made the connection that he is not fully human. It's not a major problem, but after you notice how dumb he is, it just kinda sticks to you. He is also underpowered quite a bit, which I didn't mind so much, but it's very noticeable that he is not as powerful as he should be, even getting caught lacking by humans. But enough about Dante. Let's talk about Mary. Her entire character is completely changed, and so is her father. Mary is not this aggressive, abrasive, arrogant, swearing woman displayed here. She has her own storyline involving her father, Arkham, this clown-looking son of an annoying hag. She is actively hunting him down in order to take him out. She does end up succeeding and joining Dante, of course, but her strength was not this exaggerated. In the games, it's made clear that Dante is just so much stronger, but in the show, they are almost exactly equal in power, which doesn't really matter until you see how unbalanced that becomes. Dante is half demon, so he can heal damage really fast, but Mary gets absolutely brutalized in this show and walks it off despite being fully human. But hey, they can do as they wish with the story. What ends up sticking out to me as a bad choice is after the White Rabbit is defeated in the show, they have a scene similar to the one in the games. Dante accepts who she was and starts referring to her as Lady instead of Mary. This is done in both the show and the game. So what's the issue? When Dante offers her to join him in demon hunting, in the game she joins him. In the show she betrays him, claiming someone of his power should never be allowed to walk free. So basically her entire growth throughout the TV show, learning that demons are not that bad, just went out the window, making her extremely unlikable compared to her game counterpart. The game shows far more appreciation to her character than this, if you ask me. That, and did someone in the writing team think making her curse like a sailor made her a badass or something? She comes off as immature and bitter for the most part, like an arrogant teen, and it just doesn't suit her at all. She's supposed to be an adult that can stand for her own, not this immature brat. Honestly, I could rant about her character being terrible a lot more, but they at least stuck to their guns about the way they portray her. It's a shame it had to be this person, who is bordering on unlikable, but hey, that's their choice to make. A thing you will notice about the show is it takes place closer to modern day, very close, so you will see helicopters and modern technology. This entire team wears mech-like gear, like some Paladin ripoffs or something. I like the armor designs, but it just doesn't really suit the atmosphere of Devil May Cry, which usually sticks more towards older looking weapons and armor designs, more mystical and steampunk based, but I guess it works. The new direction is a bit difficult to get into, but it's a fun choice overall if you are new to the series. The next big change is explaining everything through science instead of mysticism and demonic roots, like the demon and human realm being linked by quantum entanglement or something, and the portals being made by scientific devices instead of the usual rituals and summoning practices. So that presents a more modernized view of things. Oh, and the government is heavily involved, by the way. Main villains, in fact, complete with a president who is basically just a puppet, an evil Christian vice president that uses everyone and wants a holy war, etc., etc. Speaking of which, yeah, they added religion into this. Christianity is the villain and the vice president is its messenger, basically. This man is a good villain, but God is he evil. The fact that all his evil is based on his faith and holy thinking kinda muddies the waters. I'm not a Christian myself, but watching this kinda got a bit disrespectful to a certain point. He literally invades the demon realm in the end with target-seeking programmable missiles that aim directly at innocent demons because of some twisted holy cleansing crusade that he is on, declaring the demons as pure evil hell beings that gotta die, which would be fine if the show kept the demons as ruthless, selfish monsters in the games, but they are humanized to a point where you just think, damn, this is pure evil. But hey, maybe that was the point the entire time. I guess so. Oh, and they blast American Idiot while the president is casually committing mass genocide on a race he just doesn't like, so shots fired towards Americans, I guess? Christianity and Americans catching strays. Ah, you love to see it. I bet Twitter is loving this.
The Irony that I'm the shapeshifter and you're the one who doesn't know what you are.
The villains in the show are entertaining, that much I will admit. The rabbit is a perfect villain. I really like this guy. His motivations and storyline were engaging and fantastic to follow. Impressive work here. I also like the side villains added, since they are references to the games. Cavalier looks incredible. I really enjoyed the fights he was in. He's the demon that Dante ends up turning into a bike. Agni and Rudra are also featured, but they are drastically changed. In the show, they are these demon-looking siblings with fire and wind? It looks like wind in some instances, but in the games they aren't demons per se. They are demonic swords. Agni and Rudra are weapons that pilot these huge statues to attack you, and can't actually move on their own since they are swords. Dante later acquires them and told them to shut up. So, nice touch. Also, Rudra uses ice. I'm not sure what this show is going with. I remember this demon snake woman as well. I think she was called Echidna, but her name is never mentioned in the show. Great throwback, and I like her adaptation. This plasma boss ends up being really impressive as well, to a degree I did not even expect, though the shape-shifting thing kinda got old pretty damn quick. But now let's talk about the main issue. The story is what took the biggest hit, I think, and it's the main reason I say that if you're a die-hard fan of the games, this show was not made for you in particular. It was made for everyone, new fans included. They took too many liberties in the TV show that stray away from the games. I have been listing them throughout the entire video so far. See how many you can catch on to. But the main one to cover is, the whole demon world reopening storyline was meant to be involving Arkham, this clown prick here, and Vergil, who worked together to open up the gates to the demon realm. But that is not the direction the show takes, because the White Rabbit is the one in charge. Arkham gets cameos in Mary's backstory but just stays there. Speaking of Mary's backstory, this one episode was absolutely atrocious. I personally know some people who skipped this because A, it had zero dialogue, B, it kept switching from art styles, and C, the colors just kept switching over and over again and it just was not as engaging. You can skip this episode and you won't really miss much. Just watch the final portion. That's all you need to see. Even then, you can just get the context by watching the episode after it, so this one episode sucked. Anyway, so they had to find a different way to integrate Mary into the story. Hence why she is the elite lieutenant of this demon hunting force, directly under the boot of the government. She is presented as hating demons to a fault as well, basically a racist. Oh, and I forgot to mention this before, but part of why Mary was so important in the games is because she is the descendant of the priest that Sparda had help from in sealing the gate. So her blood is also needed to open the gate as well, but in the show she is basically just hunting down the White Rabbit because he is a demon and was annihilating her team, which they kinda deserve, to be honest. Mary is a massive racist towards demons and basically caused the creation of the White Rabbit, so he naturally wanted revenge, but yeah, that's her significance, so she is just doing her job. It's a bit underwhelming compared to the actual games. As for the White Rabbit, he wants to connect the realms to get revenge on humans as a whole, and to free the innocent Makaians from the desolate wasteland, so they can live freely in the human realm. What's funny is he realized that humans would be massacred but doesn't care. That ends up being the bulk of the story. Bunny wants the world joined again, so he finds the pieces, which means he needs the amulet, both pieces of it, like I said. Vergil just gives him his side along with his blood in a vial. He gets the other piece from Dante, and somehow already had the demon sword Sparda in its sealed state, the Force Edge. I won't tell you the entire story since it's not too important to this video, but I do want to highlight one last thing and one last chapter. His involvement in the story is minimal. He shows up to give the bunny his blood and amulet, then just leaves. He shows up in the very end and reveals his human form, which looks incredible, by the way, 10 out of 10. But as I mentioned before, Vergil is actually meant to take a massive role in this story, since he was also trying to open the gate. Well, not exactly. Vergil wanted his father's sword, because Vergil wants to have the power that his father had. He loses to Dante, of course, after trying to steal the sword. He then just enters the demon realm before the gate closed. But in this show, he is working for Mundus as a lapdog, basically. It's a bit odd to reduce him to this level, but Dante did get similar treatment, so I can't really complain too much. It's consistent with the show. In the games, he did work for Mundus, but not out of his own free will. After being trapped in the demon realm, he ran into Mundus and challenged him the same way his father did. Mundus beats him up and tortures him, naturally, until he breaks and serves him as a demon called Mello Angelo. So basically, Vergil wasn't serving because he wanted to, but but because his will was shattered. In the show, he seems happy to serve Mundus though. Very odd. I'm just going to end this video here. I have been yapping for so long and completely forgot to write up the good things I enjoyed about the show. But hey, this video will speak for itself. But what did you think of the show though? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it perhaps? Any favorite moments? Were you a fan of the games? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And while you are still here, be sure to like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Peace, my friend.